Well, I'll come up to police headquarters to catch up with the Chief Constable before he retires. It's a chance to have a final look back on your tenure, 5 years here in the Isle of Man. And I'd like to go right back to the beginning. How did you get this job in the first place?
Well, obviously came as the Deputy Chief Constable 7 years ago, which was a useful rehearsal for the key post, and succeeded Mike Culverhouse following an exhaustive selection process.
Well, let's talk about the Mike Culverhouse years, because it was a very difficult period for the police. You came in here sort of from the UK. You must have been aware of the backlash that was going on at the time with a lot of the officers. There's been a lot of media briefing, a lot of sniping going on behind the scenes, and a lot of rumours are running around. And the morale seemed quite low.
I think it was a difficult time. I think you're right to say that there were factions that had developed. That was both internally in the organisation, and I think that there were some instances whereby politics and the police crossed a boundary, and that can't happen in a healthy environment. So I think really that was one of the main challenges, really, to ensure that relationships internally were all reconciled, and that despite healthy challenge, we maintained a positive relationship with politicians, and we retained what I think is absolutely essential. That's a respect for the constabulary, a respect for the police and what our team of people do.
Were you surprised in what you found here?
To some extent, yes. I think that when you come from a large police force, you sort of don't always appreciate just how difficult it is for one or two officers on duty to deal with situations. And I think you have a perspective that relationships are going to be bonhomie and really healthy. And I've got to admit that when I first arrived, it quite surprised me just how intense some of the conflicts were. Because
there were warring factions within the police, weren't there?
Well, I'm not sure I'd put it as strongly as that, but there were certainly tensions, and if those tensions are at a senior level, then it's not healthy for the organisation, both internally and indeed outside. And one of the key challenges actually to make sure that we got the right people in the right place, and we had a mutual respect for each other.
Let's go back then. Your career, you'd done your full whack, hadn't you, in Liverpool? You retired, and then you decided to have a look at the Isle of Man. Why?
Because I enjoy policing, and it's one of the unique opportunities for a UK senior officer to carry on in the police service and do something that's slightly different and presents different challenges. And those challenges are having a lot of people to deal with a lot of serious incidents, and then coming to an environment where you haven't got many people, and when something serious does happen, that those people have to demonstrate they can do a bit of everything. And that's what I've learnt from the Isle of Man, that just the generic way in which our officers can deal with serious issues, they're absolutely fantastic.
And you were happy to come in as the assistant, and then you always were prepared and looking to take the big job, were you? Was that your plan?
I think I was being honest. Well, I did have an eye on that, yes it was, but I always had the contingency if I didn't like it to actually sort of not apply. But as it happened, I did enjoy it, I did like it, and I was really grateful to be given the opportunity by Minister Quayle.
Was it a try before you buy sort of scheme, do you think? From both ends?
I think possibly from both ends, but I very quickly recognised that it was a good organisation to work for with a lot of quality people, and I think that what was potentially missing was the capacity to enjoy ourselves while we're at work hard, be creative, be innovative, and maximise the potential of everybody. So from that perspective, really enjoyed it.
And the culture with dealing with the press was very much everybody sent it upstairs. Everyone didn't want to hold onto it. They were happy that the Chief Constable would deal with it, and then that would be the end of it. You completely changed that. I mean, from first-hand experience, I would go to you about something, and you'd say, it's nothing to do with me, go to whoever was dealing with that incident. And there was a really big change in the way the media was dealt with it by you on that. Do you think that's had something to do with the way the police are now perceived?
Well, possibly, but I don't think that approach actually just is pertinent to the media. That's how I wanted our service to be delivered. I wanted people that were actually doing the job to be responsible and accountable for what they're doing, and make their own decisions, and to get away from this environment where everything was pushed up. We've got people that are so innovative and so creative and so capable, so why would they need to push anything up? So in other words, take responsibility, and we found that people enjoy taking that responsibility. So that's the key challenge, changing something from an autocratic command and control environment into one where officers and staff are empowered effectively within reason to say and do what they want.
Well, you may say they enjoyed it. A lot of times they didn't. Trust me, they would rather send it upstairs than having to go in front of cameras. But I think there has been a mindset change on that.
But it would be an experience for them, and they would be better equipped for it next time and the time after.
Well, we're going to continue our talk with the Chief Constable in just a few moments.